this on? Is this working? Yeah, okay. So, let me show what I did yesterday. Let me fix the camera a little. Okay. Now, I have my super glue on the edges and also in between the metal and the plastic. This screw can now screw in because there's a little bit of glue that went into the screw hole, which actually gave it some purchase when I threaded it in. And it's actually pretty solid. I don't want to put too much pressure on it here, but like it does resist upward motion pretty good. But it still doesn't work. I tried it on, well, earlier today, and I figured, well, I'm not going to do this on camera because if it just randomly works, then I'll just sit there and play it. And I don't have a capture card for this thing anyway. But it didn't work. So my theory is that this can still bounce up once in a while. Let me just see. Yeah, you know, there is enough play. It's a little bit hard to tell here, but you see there's just a little bit of play right at the edge. And I think that's enough to let it bounce up and down. So here's my idea. I've got some modeling clay here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a little bit on top so that it sticks up. And then I'm going to close the lid. Actually, there's a little bit of play in the worm gear too. But anyway, I'm going to close the lid, and hopefully what that'll do is it'll squish the modeling clay to be the exact height of, you know, in between the top of this plastic thing and the lid of the PS2. And then what I'm going to do is I've got some packing tape here, which is pretty slippery, pretty low friction. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add tape on the top of the lid where the lid would sit on top of the worm gear. And basically I'm just going to try and eliminate all the space that this thing has to move around in between the top of the plastic and the lid of the PS2. There's no reason to think this will work. I'm just kind of desperate now at this point because, like, this is solid. It's not going to get any more solid than that. So yeah, here goes nothing. So I'll put on my modeling clay and I will close the lid. I'll try to avoid snapping it because these snaps only have a limited amount of times you can snap them. Well, I just snapped it, but that's okay. All right, great. So this is interesting. There's actually, I didn't notice this before, but there's actually like a little kind of divot here in the plastic that's actually labeled, or like there's like a worm gear silhouette drawn on it, which is kind of interesting. And because I use this modeling clay, you can actually clearly see the dimple where that bit of plastic sticks up past the edge of the metal. So now my job will be to put tape on here. Let me try and angle this so you can see. To put tape on here until the whole surface is, maybe if I go like this. Yeah, until this whole surface is flush with where this modeling clay sits. That's pretty much what I need to do. Then I can always add pieces of tape one by one to like fine tune it. So I'll try to go a little bit like less than what I need at first, and then I can add more. So yeah, this is just gonna take a while. Maybe what I'll do is, so I also got out some cardboard from the recycling. I was thinking of doing like just the base layers in cardboard, and then just taping it on at the end. And if I guess you can't see this. All right, let me move this since I don't need the bottom half right now. Put this on. So I think like this cardboard that I have here is like, maybe if I had 2 thicknesses of it, that would be good. So I gotta do a little arts and crafts here. Okay, where's my pencil? Whatever, I can just eyeball this. This isn't really a precise job here. Actually, okay, hold on. Let me just start by cutting off a small bit of cardboard so that I can actually position it under the camera. Just this big thing. And you can't see it, but I have this pretty precarious frame here where I'm hanging the webcam from. So I need it to be about... So you see that there's like a little divot? I'm going to put 1 piece of cardboard into the divot so that it kind of becomes flush with the rest of the plastic, and then I'll put 1 piece of cardboard over that, and then I'll put a piece of this packing tape over it, and that should be like, you know, decent. So this, I don't want to cut it too wide. Maybe just this is enough. I can always trim it a bit if it's too wide. So yeah, that seems good. And for length, I'll just cut it about here. So like I say, this really isn't a precise art here, what I'm doing. Or a precise science, rather. And I mean, this cardboard will kind of tamp down a little, and also there's a little bit of give in the plastic, so actually I might put 3 layers of cardboard, and then, you know, I can always trim it if that's too much. So I'm just cutting out the cardboard here. It's just too hard to cut it under the camera, and there's kind of, well, I mean, that's not true. I can cut it under the camera, but, you know, all I'm doing is I'm cutting cardboard. There's nothing too deep here. So I've got this little piece that's going to go on the bottom, this piece that's going to go above it, so that they kind of together will fill up this, and then I just want 1 wider piece to go across here. So maybe this wide is wide enough. And let me just trim these to length. And then I guess what I'll do is I'll first tape, I guess I'll tape them 1 by 1. Or maybe I'll tape them together first and then tape them to the plastic. I don't know. So that's, yeah, I mean, okay, so I'm just going to tape the, I'm going to use a little bit of tape here to tape the bottom 2 together. Then I'll put a little piece of tape to tape all 3 of them together. And then I will tape it onto the console and hope for the best. Wish me luck, I guess. The stupid tape. Once you lose the end, it's a pain to find it again. Okay. Okay. Just like that. Then I can do this. Then this. Okay, so let me show you the finished article. I've got these 3 stacks, or these 3 stacked pieces of cardboard, not well centered, but that's okay. And let me get rid of this, and I will tape on the cardboard. Yeah, it doesn't fit too bad. Maybe this end would fit better. Yeah. All right, well, let's tape this on. And then I'll shut it again with the modeling clay I won't put quite as much. Well, I'll shut it again with the modeling clay on it, just to see like how much clearance there is, because I really don't want too much clearance. Clearance. Yeah. Oh, that's where the screw is going to go, but that's not a big deal. I'm not really concerned about that. There's like very little force on this tape. I mean, this is just to keep it from sliding around the inside of the case, so I really don't care that much. Okay. Let me get another piece here. I mean, this is desperate, okay, what I'm doing here. I mean, you know, I could just, like, I live in Toronto. It shouldn't be that hard, for example, to just find some professional somewhere who just repairs old PS2s for a living. Shouldn't be that hard, but I don't know. I can't explain why I'm doing this myself. It just seems like the thing to do. Alright, that seems pretty secure and slippery enough, so alright, let's just get a little piece of modeling clay here, and maybe I'll take 2 small pieces actually. Well, no, that won't work, because I need to put it on top of the plastic gizmo. Okay, so but I'll still use a smaller piece because I'm expecting less clearance this time. Okay, I will stick that on here. Whoops. I mean, yeah, this is desperate, but whatever. That's not a good sign. Oh yeah, you can't see that, but there's quite a lot of friction here. But maybe I just did really good with my initial placement of the cardboard. So let's take off the, come on. Oh man, I somehow, okay. Let's take off the modeling clay, which is squished pretty thin, and let's just see how it feels. I mean, there's definitely still some play here. I can feel it with my finger. So let's just keep adding pieces of tape until the play is virtually, you know, gone. Man, this is like kind of sketchy to keep snapping and unsnapping these little plastic things that hold the case together, but you know, it's kind of like no other way. Maybe if I, oh man, what the heck? How come this is in there? So is there a trick? Oh, okay. I thought I broke it. No, it's just this little, here, I'll show you. This little circuit board for the remote control that I don't have, and the power switch that I do have. And this this thing here that something to do with detecting when the case is closed, so that it, you know. So I, you know what? Let's just eliminate. Well, no, there's really no good place for me to leave that, so I'll just have to be careful. Okay, I'll just have to be careful. So let's start by adding 2 pieces of tape, because this tape is pretty thin. guess you can't see that. So here is one piece of tape. Could have done a better job, but that's okay. And a second piece of tape. I got a wrinkle in it, but it's probably okay. No, it's probably not okay. Let me try and flatten that a little bit. Oh, you can't. I'm sorry, I'm not used to filming stuff here. All I'm doing is I'm pushing down on it with the back of the scissors like this just to try and flatten it out a little. Yeah, it's a little better. Okay. Well, I mean, it's easy enough to take off a piece of tape. And I really don't want to be opening and shutting these plastic tabs over and over, so let's just go ahead and add a third piece because I think we need it. It's okay if it's a little too tight. It just can't be like way too tight. Okay, so let's try that. Would have been nice if I had like some, I don't know, some calipers or something. Although even then, I'm not really sure how easily I could have used them to help me do this. So let's take this and this. And there's kind of no choice. I do need to kind of snap it here. Snap it in to get a feel for. Well, that actually feels pretty good. Maybe we should just try it. Let's just try it. Let's just try it. Let me finish snapping the case together. I won't screw it. Oh, that's not a good sign. The case doesn't quite snap together at the back. I mean, it's hard for me to show this. Oh, never mind. I just got it. Okay, now that I have it snapped in, let's try this again. Yeah, it moves about as freely as before. And yeah, you can see there's something not quite holding it. So maybe I'll put in just the two back screws here, just where there's like the least support right now. It's hard to do this in front of the camera. I'm just gonna, okay, yeah, that kind of works. Yeah. Actually, even with just that one screw, it feels pretty secure. So I won't put any more screws in yet. Now, we gotta plug it in. Where did I put that? There's a lot of cables for me to plug in here, so just bear with me. Okay, no fire yet. That's a good sign. Okay. Now I'll plug in my monitor so I can see if it's actually reading the disc. there's no good way for me to show it to you, so I won't. But you should see, like, I've got like an adapter plugged into an adapter plugged into an adapter to hook this up to like my monitor, because this cable here breaks out to component video, and then I've got an AV to HD that here, I guess I can show this, an AV to HD that converts the component video to HDMI, but I don't have an HDMI monitor, so I have this HDMI that breaks out into VGA and audio on this other side here. So it's quite the thing. But with any luck, come on. Okay. So now I'm going to be changing my monitor's display, so I won't be able to see the OBS window. So yeah. Okay, let's turn it on with no disc in it. Okay, there's the menu. Classic PS2 noise as well. So far, so good. Now, let's put in a disc. From my experience doing this last time, I have 2 games for the PS2. This one here, Katamari Damacy, great game. This was a gift that I got with the PS2. In fact, my friends got me this PS2 so I could play Katamari Damacy. But I also bought, this at a local store here, I bought a copy of Shadow of the Colossus because I'd heard good things about it, and I thought, why not? It was only like 10 bucks. And I've noticed the last time I tried to fix this, for some reason Shadow of the Colossus doesn't work as well as Katamari Damacy. I think just the way the data is laid out means that it has to read back and forth more often. So yeah, let's cross our fingers. Oh man, that was not a good sound. Not a good sound at all. Did you hear that? Ugh. Man, I wish I could see what was going on in there. So let me try and show you, so when you open up this disk drive, it like pulls the laser back to the edge for whatever reason. And when it did that, it made a pretty bad sound. I don't even think it's a good idea to put the disc in, because then it's going to really grind all over the place. Let me think. I mean, I can take off one of the pieces of tape, or maybe 2 pieces of tape, or I could just try the disc. All right, let me turn this off for a second. That's interesting. This direction is stiffer than this direction. You know what? Let's just open it and take off one of the pieces of tape. I think that's the right solution here. And if this doesn't work, then I am going to throw in the towel and look for professional help. Yeah. Either, I mean, I wonder if there's like an EverDrive for PS2. That would make me really happy. And I'd be willing to pay top dollar for that. It's too hard to do on camera. Just let me do it. Oh no, I'm stripping this screw. Let me get a bigger screw head before I make this work. plastic tabs again, which I really don't like to do. But there's kind of no alternative. Not a good sound. Okay. Do you know, I wonder if this is, okay, interesting. I wonder if, you see this here, this is the motor, but I actually don't know what part of this motor spins. No, I think it's just some internal. Oh man, what is that? Do you hear that? I think it was just my imagination. All right, let's take off one piece of tape. Let me just I can't do this on camera here, but let me just try to quickly see, just get a feeling for where this thing sits. Yeah, this back part of the cardboard is right on top of that motor. So let's do our little trick here with the modeling clay. And just try to see where the edge of this motor is on the cardboard. And then what I'll do is I'll try to cut the cardboard. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. I'll try to cut the cardboard so that it's not on top of, putting any pressure. That's probably why the lid wasn't closing. And that was probably just making me have more trouble than I really needed. That didn't work. Didn't stick to the cardboard. What if instead I put it on the cardboard and look at where the impression goes? Okay, great. So you can clearly see where the impression is. So yeah, let me just score this so that I can. Can I even see that? Oh yeah, I can see it. Okay. All right, now let me carefully go at this with the scissors. Man tries to fix PS2 with Play-Doh and scissors. Okay. Okay. And let me cut a little bit more just to give it a little more clearance. Do you have clearance? Okay. So this is the situation now. I should have an easier time closing the lid now that the motor's not going to poke up into the cardboard. And now that the motor's not poking up into the cardboard, now it is worthwhile to do our plasticine trick again on top of the plastic bit. I have a feeling that the reason it sounded so bad is because it was putting pressure on top of the motor and it was just not good. So, yeah. So let me see again how much clearance there is between the plasticine, or the plastic thing, and the lid. Let me just take a little bit less. I really hope I'm not getting like little bits of plasticine like just jammed into random bits of the mechanism, but I don't think I am, so it's probably okay. Okay. Now I gotta get this thing open again. Carefully. Carefully. Oh man. Man, these tabs are a real pain. Oh, here we go. Well, it's really hard for me to tell what this means. The plasticine is still pretty thick, it seems, so maybe there's still quite a bit of clearance. Let's try to get a feeling for that here. Oh, you can't see that. So I'm just kind of like trying to feel. Yeah, let's put on some more tape. Why not? Let's put on some more tape. I wonder what the proper solution is for all this. I mean, maybe the problem isn't what I think it is. It'd be nice if I could see like what's causing all the raunchy noises. Oh, right. I gotta do this in front of the camera. That's too big. How much more tape do you think I should put? That's 2 layers more. Let's put 1 more layer. I mean, maybe the problem has nothing to do with the worm gear. Maybe that video I saw on YouTube was a hoax. The one that told me that the problem was this thing bouncing out of the worm gear. Maybe the motor's shot. You know, it could be anything, honestly. I have no way of knowing. At least not with the tools I have here in my kitchen. All right, let's give that a shot. I think there's an air bubble. Let me just try and work out that air bubble here. Whatever, it's fine. All right. Let's try this again. It's so weird how I can feel more friction in one direction than the other. Oh yeah, that's way too much tape. Way too much. I mean, I think. I'm pretty sure. Let's take off one layer here if I can. Man, this is stupid. This is one of the stupider things I've done lately. Okay, that's 2 layers that I took off just there, but that's probably fine. Alright, what if we try it like this? Oh! Oh man. You can see my pizza boxes here. Okay. Man, how much longer am I going to try this obviously stupid solution? I mean, can you even call it a solution? So first of all, let me get a feeling for what this is like. I mean, it's pretty stiff. I mean, maybe there's too much tension on here. You know, it's impossible to know. Oh, well, now it just, you can't see what I'm doing. Now it just moves easily. Whatever, let's just try it. Let's just try it. You know, snap it all together. This time the case does actually snap together and doesn't just stick up awkwardly, so cutting out the cardboard above the motor was a good thing. First, let's see what the sound is like when I open up the lid, and hope it's not as bad as I did it last time. Ah! That's bad. That's bad. Stop. Turn off. Okay. That obviously is bad. What the heck is going on here? Did something get jammed in there when I didn't notice? Maybe I just need like some lubrication on this thing. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't even know what kind of lubrication is good for this. took off another layer of tape. I mean, how many more times can I open and shut this thing without messing up the plastic? This is a disaster. Man, it's scary to turn this thing on now. Ooh, okay, that didn't buzz like the devil. What happens if I open it? It's still a really bad sound. Yeah, no good. This sucks. I think I have to take out one of the pieces of cardboard and just replace it with less tape. Okay. Unless the problem is something else. But I just don't know. Let's just try to put in less tape. So I'm taking out one of the pieces of cardboard. Oh man, that just... Okay. And then on top of this, I need to add a bunch of tape if I want it to stick. So this goes in here like that. And then I just tape the bejabbers out of it. Okay, that's one. That's two. Let's start with that. Maybe I just had way too much, you know? All right, let's give that a shot. Okay. Okay, okay, no bad grinding, which is to be expected because there's much less tape. And if I open it, okay, no grinding noise. What if we just try it? What if we just try it? Actually, let me plug in my monitor so I can see. I give this a 10% chance of working. You hear that clicking? That's what it did before. Yeah, this is not working. Let's try the other disc, because I know that Katamari Damacy, for whatever reason, doesn't have quite as much like rapid movement of the laser head until a certain part of the game. But just the main menu should be pretty easy to deal with. Oh yeah, this isn't working. Oh wait, it is working. Yeah, wait, that is working. Well, now what? Because I don't know what the problem is. I wish I knew what... Okay, there is something I can do, which is I can push down the safety switch and run this thing without a cover, which is a very bad idea. It's such a bad idea because it would be so easy for me to stick my finger in there and get it cut on the disc, or there's this laser, you know, and but how else am I going to know what the problem is? Okay, let's turn this off. And let's try adding a piece of tape, just one. And if Katamari Damacy still works, then we can try Shadow of the Colossus. But if by adding tape Katamari Damacy stops working, then I know that the problem is not something I can fix. Because my theory is that the plastic head is bouncing, and that's what's causing the clicking noise. But honestly, I don't know. But yeah, one more piece of tape. We'll just keep adding them one at a time until something changes. I guess I'm not showing this on camera, but you can imagine what it looks like to add a piece of tape. I'll leave it up to your imagination. I'm getting impatient now, and that's usually a bad sign when you're doing stuff like this. One piece of tape, done. Let's shut it. I mean, is this even like worth it? Like, maybe this has been misguided since the very outset. The worst thing is that when I screw it in, it might change the spacing, you know. Okay. Okay, it still sounds okay. Let's put in Katamari Damacy. Okay, that is working. It has some like weird sounds, but the thing is I don't know what it's supposed to sound like. But what I don't hear is the that I hear from Shadow of the Colossus, so yeah, I don't know. I'm almost at my wit's end here. Should really just get a professional to fix this. Someone who actually knows how to troubleshoot, not just me sitting here scratching my head. See, there it goes clicking again. I wish I knew why. Okay, stop. I wish I knew why. I don't know, maybe I should add another piece of tape. I don't know what to do. I wish I could see. Man, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. I think I gotta give up. I think giving up is the right move. There is nothing I'm doing that's helping. Man. I don't know. I'm hesitating between continuing this process that I started where I add one piece of tape at a time until something changes. I'm hesitating between that and giving up. How long have I been doing this? Almost an hour. Oh my god. I'm just answering some text messages here. All right, how about I'll set an upper limit for pieces of tape I'm willing to add before I should give up. Let's set the upper limit to 3. 3 pieces of tape, and if there's no change after 3 pieces of tape, that's it. I'm stopping. I mean, when I said I was desperate. One of these days. Okay. I mean, maybe the tape, I don't know. What if I add 2 pieces of tape right now? No, that way lies madness. We're gonna do this one at a time, up to 3 times. So this is time number 1. This is stupid. In other words, I'm trying to say that my idea is, I thought it was a good idea this morning when I woke up at, I don't know, 4:30. Maybe it isn't such a good idea after all. Okay. Man, yeah. Well, first let's do this test. Oh, that didn't sound good. What happens if Well, yeah, maybe it's okay. Maybe this is going to be the last piece of tape based on what I just saw there. Okay, that still seems to be working. Uh-oh. That is not working. There is no data, it says. Let's just reset it and try again. There is no data. Damn. Well, that settles it. That settles it. Adding tape is only making things worse. It can't make things better. So the problem is something else. I just have no idea what it is. Maybe the problem has been something else this whole time. Man, it sucks. Alright, time to clean all this crap up. Man, that's disappointing. Real quick before I turn all this off, let me just go on Google and ask Toronto PS2 repair. This place doesn't look too bad. I wonder how much they charge. I'm looking at iRepair Toronto, which is kind of far of it. Maybe I should send them an email and ask how much they charge. What would be my balking point? Well, alright. eBay.ca PS2. Let's see how much just buying one. So like roughly 150 bucks, give or take, is what I'm seeing. So I mean, I'm actually a little bit sentimental about this particular PS2 because it's the one that my friends gave me. So to a certain extent, I think I'd be willing to pay maybe, let's say, 120 to get it fixed. Yeah. I mean, if they'll fix it for like 80 bucks, then I'm laughing. That would be what I would consider reasonable. It's a pretty niche market, but I would get a lot of enjoyment out of 80 bucks.